Hi everyone, good to be here today. It's been a while since I was last at a maiden event, so it's good, and it'll be good to hear how Made Futures went for all of you. So this session is sort of following on from that, really, to talk about how you can position your business as an employer of choice, really, but these tips will go beyond that, and it's not just about recruitment, it's benefiting your business as a whole. So if I can just move that on, it's not moving on. Typical. Yasmin, am I controlling the screen? I think I am, aren't I? Oh, there we go. A bit slow. So first things first, just a little introduction to me. I'm one of the owners of the Partners Group, as Joe said. We're a PR and digital marketing agency based in York. And we've spent 33 years working with manufacturing businesses across the UK and in a variety of sectors, building products, food processing, marine, engineering. Our very first client extruded PVC profiles to make window frames, and that was 33 years ago, and our manufacturing client base grew from there. We're currently working with a cereal processing company, an industrial lubricants manufacturer, some of you may know, Rocal, who are a Made in Yorkshire member, an integral blinds manufacturer, among others. So we've worked with a number of manufacturers over the years. In terms of why your employer brand matters, as I said, today is about storytelling as a tool for building your brand among potential recruits, but actually telling the positive stories about your business will have benefits beyond that. It'll help keep your business in the minds of potential customers. If one day you're looking to sell, it can help you attract potential buyers. It has all sorts of benefits of just being more visible and being visible for the things that you want to be visible for. Controlling your own reputation has a lot of benefits. Why does your employer brand matter? I think because attracting the right staff can be tough for any business, but for manufacturing businesses, I know a lot of people are struggling to get the right calibre of people coming through. And also because having people coming to you rather than you having to go out and find them is much more cost effective for you as a business. And because it won't just support staff attraction, recruitment, telling the positive stories about your business will also help with your retention too, because reminding your team, talking to your team about why your business is a good place to work, pulling those stories out and reminding them is always good for your existing team to see and to be reminded of. So today, we haven't got very long, but I am going to quickly take you through 4 things to think about, which will help elevate your profile as a business and your brand as an employer. So dead easy, just 4 things that you need to do. Not a problem at all. So in terms of the first step, it's looking at how your business stacks up and looking at your business objectively and thinking about how it appears to potential recruits. And for that, I don't just mean looking at the business from your point of view, it's about thinking about the people that you're aiming to recruit and looking at the business from their perspective. And if you're not the right person to do that, then it's good to find the people who are. So just think about the type of people you want to recruit, the roles you want to recruit for, what level those roles are at, and then try and look at the business through those people's eyes, or get people who fit that profile to take a look at it objectively and give you some information, some feedback. For example, what will people see when they Google your business? Will they see good, positive news about the company? Or is the last time that the business was in the news or visible the time that there was a fire at the factory 7 years ago? If that's what's coming up when people search for your business, it might be time to just have a bit of a rethink and look at the stories that you're telling and take control of that narrative rather than it controlling you. Does your company even show up in a Google search is a good question to ask, because if not, that's something as well to start thinking about. So research I was looking at this week was saying that when looking for jobs, about 64% of people will research a company's background online before they apply. I thought it might be higher actually, but anyway, 64% was the number that they gave. So how does your website stack up when people find it? Does it look like a vibrant business with great opportunities for career progression? Does it look like a business where things are happening, where you're winning new work, where you're launching new products, doing exciting things? Or is the most recent story on your news page from 2018? It's those little things which it's quite easy to forget when you're in the day-to-day, you're doing what you're doing, you're busy, you don't always take that step back and look at the business objectively from an outside perspective. You know what's going on in the business, you're in it, but thinking about that from an outside perspective, what's showing up for people? Does it look like a great place that they would want to work? And also revisiting those same questions, but looking at your competitors. So are their websites great? Are they showing up in Google searches? Are they pipping you to the post when it comes to getting all of the best people, because they are active and visible, and looking like a better bet from a recruitment point of view? Excuse me. So step one is to take a good look at whether the external image of your business reflects what's happening inside it, really, and making sure that through the eyes of the people you want to attract, the business is looking good, and stacking up. So that's step one. The next step is to understand really what's great about working at your company. Do you know what's great about working at your company? Do you know what people value and what people benefit from by being part of your team? If not, and if you're recruiting, now would be a really good time to find out, because that's what you want to package up and project to the outside world. You want people to know that you're a great place to be, and you want them to know the reasons why you're different, why you're unique, why you're special. The research that I mentioned earlier also says that the most important factors people consider when they're looking for a role, 48% look for an easy commute, 47% look for work-life balance, and 35% look at the company culture. So people can be very quick to dismiss, for example, local and regional business media and think, well, what's the point of me being in there? That's not my industry. That's not where my business needs to be visible. But if you're looking to recruit from the local area, then having a presence and a profile in the regional media or regionally as a business can really help you find those good people in that area and ticks the box for people who are looking for an easy commute. It might not be that you're recruiting from the local area, so that might not be the place that you need to be visible. But if, say, for example, supporting work-life balance is a big deal in your business, is that obvious when people come to the website? Do you make the most of that? Do you tell that story to people so that they can see the benefits of working for you? And if a third of people are looking for a good culture fit when it comes to working somewhere, making sure that the culture and the personality of your business comes across when people go to the website, when they look at your social media channels. Are you using social media channels? That's another thing to think about. But when people find the public information about your business, is it giving the right impression? And is that personality coming through? So how do you do that? It's easier said than done. Very easy to say it. A few ideas I would suggest are for you to talk to the rising stars in your business, the people who've joined you, risen through the ranks, are flying, and find out what they think, find out why they think your business is a great place to be. What is it that's attracted them in the first place? What is it that's kept them there? Do you offer structured training, development program? If so, talk to the people who've been through it and put together case studies of them sharing their experiences of those programs. Again, all of that information that you can then package up and give to the outside world helps to build a picture of what life's like in your business. If you're recruiting apprentices, I know quite a few people are in the MAID group. Again, talk to them, find out what they're learning, announce it when they join. And maybe look at an apprentice diary, 3 months in, how's life looking for them? What have they learned? What's their experience been like? Publishing that kind of information in a video, short video, a quick written piece for the website, perhaps both, putting together some visual things that you can share on your social media channels. Again, it's about bringing those roles to life, not just saying we recruit apprentices, but what's it like when somebody comes to work for you as an apprentice? And if you're looking to attract more, giving those people that insight into what life's like and what they can expect to do, you're really going to help people apply, or to understand. You're going to get more of the right people applying because you're giving a very clear picture of what they can expect. I would also suggest talking to some of your longest serving staff members and your shortest serving staff members. Get a good mix of views from across the business, and at all levels too, but particularly focusing on the areas where you may be looking to recruit. If you've already got people in those roles in the business, find out as much as you can from them about what's great about the role, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy, and be able to share that information, package up that information and share it. And it isn't just about things that relate to your team. Being seen as a business that's going places, a successful business, a thriving business, that's where people want to work. They don't want to work at businesses that look like they're standing still. It's that dynamism, that excitement. So if your business is growing, are you winning new, big, high-profile contracts? Are you creating jobs? Are you launching new products? Investing in new machinery? Expanding your current premises? Moving to new premises? If all of that stuff's happening, but you're not telling anybody about it, there's a real missed opportunity there, because you could be filling your news pages on your website at the very least, and more besides, with the stuff that's happening in the business that will get people interested in what's happening and keen to come and work there and want to be part of that action. Just one point to make on that. I know that some people can get a little bit twitchy about sharing too much information. If we tell people about our best staff, people will come and poach them. If we talk about our customers, our competitors will try and steal them. I understand that. I get that completely. My views on that are, if you're treating your staff and your customers right, looking after them well, and they're getting value and enjoying working for you or with you, then they're not going to want to leave. But I do know also it's not necessarily always as simple as that in practice. So there, I would say, pick and choose the people and the customers that you talk about externally, and that you use to promote the business. You know your team, you know your industry, you know your customers. It's your decision. We're there to, I know PR people can get a bit excitable about telling every story that's going, and sometimes there are good business reasons why you shouldn't do that. So just think carefully about it. But I would say don't let it stop you from saying anything at all. Just think about what you do say and how you say it. So that's step 2, that's your planning. Step 3 is the best bit. That's where you get to actually start getting on and doing it, and telling those stories that you've discovered. Where you tell them will depend very much on where you're focusing as a business. As I said before, if you're looking to recruit from the local area, you need to be building a presence and a profile in local and regional business media. If it's from industry, then you need to be looking at the media there and how can you be visible there, making sure that you've got good content on your website that you can share, talking about your teams and their stories, on your made-in microsites, on your social media channels, in your company newsletter. Just think about all the different places you have as a business where you can tell those stories, and then think about where it's appropriate to use them and tailor those stories for those different channels. And the things to talk about, the stories to talk about, as I've said there, talk about new recruits as they arrive in the business, talk about people beginning, completing apprenticeships, achieving qualifications. All of this is great to show that you really invest in your team, and you invest in their development. So telling those stories is really important. Gather case studies from those teams, maybe look at giving insights into what it's like to work in your business, a day in the life of a particular role, especially if it's a role you're looking to recruit for, meet the team articles or videos, so that people get more of an insight into the people that they would be working alongside if they came to work for you. All of that good stuff that just helps to bring what you do as a business to life. Mentioned before about telling the stories of your business as well as the stories of your team, investors in people accreditations, contract wins, investment in facilities, all that good stuff. Think about how you can tell that across your various channels and who would be interested. And then also the business personality side of things. If you're doing loads of CSR activities or charitable activities, again, these are great opportunities to get the personality of the business across. The team at Roll Call walked the equivalent of Land's End to John O'Groats and back in February. And they did it as a team building initiative, an internal initiative where they were going out for walks, logging their miles, taking photos, sharing them within the team, but also telling that story externally is a really good thing to do, a really positive thing to do, because it gets across some of that sense of what it's like to work at Roll Call, and what it's like to be in the business. We've had some great media coverage for that story. We've featured it in their newsletter, on their website, on social media, and all of that. It isn't just about the business story that you're telling, it's about the kind of human side, and what you're doing beyond that. So think about what, again, go back to what a potential customer, a potential employee on this occasion, if we're talking about positioning the business as an employer of choice, think about what recruits would want to hear and see, and make sure that you're sharing that kind of information. And then just a note on careers pages. I see a lot of companies have careers pages, and it's essentially just a list of jobs, which is fine. But there's a lot that you can do with the careers page than just have, here are the roles we're recruiting for. It's quite easy to overlook, but it can be a very powerful tool. We spent some time with a client recently digging into what it's like to work in their business, not just talking to the owners, but talking to the people in the team as well. And we discovered some absolute gems. We discovered things that the owners didn't know their team valued about working at the company. Some of the things they thought were benefits weren't as important as some other things that people mentioned. So from that, we're now creating a landing page on their website, which is dedicated to careers and working in that business, and telling the stories of those people in the team and why it is that the variety of work that they're doing is what keeps them there, the various things that came out of those conversations, making sure that that's there and visible for other people to see. So if you have a job section or a careers section on your website, just think about, could you do more with that? Could you make that more of a glimpse into working at your business and what that's like? Surely landing on a page that screams the sky's the limit will appeal much more than a list of roles to people, or being greeted by a friendly face saying, I love working here because I learn something new every day. Just little snippets like that. They might not seem very much, but they really do help to show what it's like, get the personality of your business across, and attract the right kind of people. And making sure, again, that you're sharing that. If it's on your website, make sure that you're sharing it across your social media channels too. And then the final step, it's really important to understand, if you're doing all of this good stuff, you need to know what's working and what isn't. I think a LinkedIn feed, a company LinkedIn feed that is sales post after sales post after sales post is unlikely to get too much interaction. If you start showing the human side of your business, I bet you'll start seeing more interaction and engagement. When we look at the analytics of the clients that we're working with, and look at which stories get most engagement, it's 9 times out of 10, I would say, it's the human interest stories. Again, giving Roll Call as an example, they put a social media post, an April Fool's social media post out talking about how they were launching the world's first ever multicoloured cutting fluid. That was one of their best performing posts in the last month, just because it shows personality and humour, and that's the kind of thing that people connect with beyond the buy our products because we're great type messages. So over time, make sure that if you are posting things on social media, that you're looking back to see which of those posts are performing well, and then think about content that people are engaging with. Are people going to your website, dig into the analytics on your website and see, are they visiting the jobs page? Are they staying there, or are they bouncing straight off? Are they staying on the website to have a good look around and find out more about the business? That's what you want. You want people to come to the site because they're interested and stay because they're engaged. So think about what you've got on there and make sure that you understand how people are interacting with that content, because that will help you shape future content. It's not a quick win. I'm sorry, it's not a silver bullet. It does take time to build that reputation and to build that profile, but it is worth doing. Here are a couple of examples of clients that we've worked with in this particular company after 12 months of really making a concerted effort to think about what was great about working in their business and communicating that. They're seeing more engagement with the business, but more importantly, they're seeing the right kind of people approaching them, and they're getting the caliber of people that they want to attract into the business coming to them rather than them having to go out and find them. And likewise, with this business, they're saving money on recruitment fees because, again, they've got the right kind of people knocking at their door rather than them having to go out and find them and pay lots of money for the privilege. So it's not a silver bullet, but it will work. And yeah, that's it from me.